He is now paralyzed from the waist down and facing charges for DUI homicide related, which means if he gets convicted, regardless of his age, he will do at least 3 to 7 years in prison, regardless of his age, okay? And he may not be able to make bond, and sometimes trials take 18 months or so before they happen, and he may be in jail because the bond would be very high. All of that cascade of bad events happens from this one video, and you'll remember it next year, and then what you're going to get is 40-minute segments, and those segments will be streamed. Am I saying it the right way? Is that what it's called? They will be streamed to other school districts, and they will be turned into videos for classes, and your classroom teachers will be able, anyway. So without further ado, please pay attention to the fact that everything about what you're seeing and what happens is real. It's not theater. It's exactly what would happen in a court of law, and I can tell you that the reality is perfect.
I want you guys to all understand, you girls and boys, this is not a scared straight kind of a thing. We always like to mention that. It's not to scare you. It's to make you realize that you don't even have to be the one that is in the wrong. You don't have to be the driver. You didn't have to be drinking. You didn't have to do all those things. It can happen in an instant. Who you get in the car with, who you associate yourself with, that's where we're trying to make a difference of an awareness with you. So the purpose of this program is to do nothing. I hope you felt exactly what I'm feeling when you watch this, how instant anything can change.
This is the first time I've ever watched this in what I call the new Angelo Pepa. As old as I am, I took a new chapter in my life. And most important, somebody in this audience is a future prosecutor or defense attorney or doctor, community leader. There are legislators out there who actually in some states are legalizing everything. The combination of an impaired mind and a 4,000-pound missile with 4 wheels navigating among all other people like that is something that you're going to be old enough someday to do something about, to not even get in the car. Take the keys, but stay away from that. Now, one of our messages is, and like I said, we're going to be taking you clear through a trial process throughout the whole school year next year, and then we'll have our 3rd annual at the cathedral in which the trial will be done by students, the lawyers, and all your parents and everybody will be invited to go to the cathedral in the evening to see the grand dame, basically. 40-minute segments all year, depending on how your school allows us to bring them in, and then the coming together over in the cathedral. One of the things we've done to try to increase our attendance is to say, never get that 3 a.m. phone call, 1:30 in the morning, that every parent dreads. Never get that call. And you know, I've been doing this for, Patsy, me and you, how long? Years.
I'm sorry?
How many long, me and you been doing this?
At least 4 years we've been doing these.
18 for me or more. I was a prosecutor before then. I got one of those calls. There is nothing that I own more precious than my kids. I got one of those calls. There's an other side too, where you can be driving, minding your own business, and some 4,000-pound missile nails you without even touching the brakes. So this is the other side of all those bad outcomes. That's the personal hit. And you, each of you, have something special that you're going to do, some ripple that you're going to make. And I got every prayer I've ever wanted answered. Maybe this is why I'm here, to make sure nobody else loses a family member like that. But he's back. We're back. And we're going to be somebody special. And we'll be back in your classrooms all year. And you will join an army of people who will first and foremost stop putting anything in your mouth, okay, that doesn't belong there. And number two, prevent other people from doing that too. That combination of that 4,000-pound missile and these things that they give out there, even prescriptions, we got to stop that. And we got to do whatever we can to say that we tried.
Thank you, Mr. Amabel. Thank you, Attorney Papa. We really appreciate all the hard work and effort that a program like this takes throughout the year. He spends countless hours preparing for it. And I think it's important, I know it's an important message for all of you, and you know, making the right decisions. And even when you do make the right decision, sometimes life throws you a curveball. And for him to share such a personal, powerful experience with you of his grandson. And I know, I mean, there's been times, you know, as a parent, you'll find your parents, you know, they worry about you. They're up at night when you're out and about, and your family, whether it's your grandma or whoever it is at home, somebody cares about you and somebody loves you, and that's why you're here at school. So when you're out making decisions, it doesn't only affect you, it affects the people that you love too. And that's a very poignant message for all of you to hear. And I just thank them for both for being here and sharing that message with you. And I think it's a I know it's a very, very important one. So you guys have been good listeners, and I'm going to hand it over back to Mr. Amabel to introduce whoever else he needs to introduce.
Doctor, if you could stay here for 1 second. Okay. That picture up there is 3 generations. That's my grandson. That's his father's hand holding him, reading to him for 12 days before he opened his eyes.
And that's absolutely amazing. And you know what? The whole time I was sitting there looking at, and he's a young Attorney Papa. He looks, I've never seen a grandson who looks and acts just like his grandfather as much as he does. So, you know, it's a miracle, and God surely blessed his family with him. So.
And we have one more thing we're going to give you, Doctor. We're going to send you, Jackie Respris is going to come up this summer in July. We're going to have a major adult program at the country club, and you will have probably one of the best curriculum for an all-year course that we're hoping will be approved by Department of Education for the state of Pennsylvania, because we know that prevention is the most effective, cheapest form of substance abuse program there is. Excellent. And your school district will be a pioneer, because Jackie's going to turn over 4 courses that will be approved that can be done by teachers everywhere in America. And it starts right here in Newcastle, where a lot of good things have always started.
All right, awesome.